Hi, my name's Wade Stiller. I'm a naturopath here in Queensland, Australia, and we're going to be doing a series of vignettes on molecular hydrogen because this is the molecular hydrogen revolution. Hello again, Internet, and welcome to the Hydrogen Revolution. We're here again with Dr. Elen ApThomas. Welcome, Dr. Elen.
Thank you, Wade.
And today we're going to be talking about molecular hydrogen as an antioxidant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we do, Dr. Elen, there's one thing that I really need you to clear up for me, please, because all my life I've thought we need, as humans, oxygen to live.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we also need antioxidants, and they're really important, apparently.
Yes.
Could you please clear that up? Because why do we want to antioxidant our oxygen?
That's a very good question. Okay. So to create energy,
Yes.
we burn sugar and oxygen. That's one of the final endpoints to creating energy. So that's what we need oxygen for. We actually need it to produce energy. So that's the good bit.
Okay.
The trouble is then, in that chemical reaction, when we produce energy, about 4% of it, anywhere between 1 and 5%, depending on the state of energy production, that produces what we call free radicals, or that produces this oxidative stress. So the oxygen has been oxidised and it becomes a reactive oxygen species. So people abbreviate that to the ROS.
Yes.
So then what happens is that those free radicals that are produced, if they're not mopped up by an antioxidant, then they cause damage to the tissues.
Okay.
So the free radical that's produced is a molecule that is missing an electron.
Yes.
So it's very unstable and it looks to take an electron from something around it. And that would normally be an antioxidant that would donate that electron and then stabilise that reactive molecule.
Yes.
If there aren't enough antioxidants around, it will strip that electron from our healthy cells. So it will strip it from the cell membrane, from our proteins and from our DNA, and that's what then causes damage to those tissues, and that's when you end up with potentially a disease process if that's not then neutralised in some other way.
Yes. Fantastic. So this is where obviously molecular hydrogen comes into it.
Yes. Yes.
So is molecular hydrogen just an antioxidant?
No.
No. Okay.
It is an antioxidant, and it's one of the most powerful antioxidants that we can find in health at the moment.
Yes.
The very exciting thing about it is that it's what we call selective. So it will bind to some free radicals more potently than other free radicals. So just to confuse things further, but some free radicals are crucial to the body performing properly.
Yes.
So we will produce free radicals as part of an immune response to healing the body. So if there's an infection, then we want the immune system to release free radicals called hydrogen peroxide and superoxide, and these free radicals actually neutralise infection.
Okay.
And they can actually also help mop up tissues and cells that are being damaged, so things like cancer cells.
Yes.
What we don't want, though, is the formation of other very harmful free radicals called the hydroxyl free radical, and there's a peroxynitrite free radical. These don't do anything good for the body, they just harm the tissues around them. And they tend to be formed if there weren't enough antioxidants in the first place.
Okay.
So the other very exciting thing about molecular hydrogen is it's very small. So molecular hydrogen, for any of you that know the periodic element table, it's the smallest atom that exists.
Yes.
And a hydrogen molecule are two hydrogen atoms that have bonded together. But being so small, it can actually passively cross all the way through into our cells. It can go through our cell membranes and get right down deep into the area where the damage is occurring. So it can get into the mitochondria, into the nucleus, and it can get into tissues that are very inflamed. So this is the big problem with a lot of other antioxidants, like CoQ10 and alpha-lipoic acid. They're quite big molecules, and although they're very good antioxidants, they often can't easily get down into the actual cell or into the tissues where they're mostly needed.
Oh, okay. So the access is just uninhibited.
Yes, that's the exciting thing about molecular hydrogen.
Fantastic.
What's also very exciting about the molecular hydrogen is because it's so small, it's actually able to cross our blood-brain barrier. So that's been one of the other hindrances to a lot of antioxidants, is because they're quite big and we know that brain health is absolutely crucial. It's been a matter of how do we get our antioxidants actually into the brain to protect us from that free radical damage. So molecular hydrogen, because it is so small, has been shown to actually cross that blood-brain barrier, so it can actually give the brain the antioxidant protection that we all want.
Brilliant.
The other thing I wanted to add was about where we get free radicals from. So I know I've talked about our cells making free radicals when we produce energy, and part of that immune response in that inflammatory response. But also free radicals come from our environment. They can come from the ionising radiation from the sun. So we certainly know that the skin is protected when people take molecular hydrogen therapy, which is very exciting for reducing wrinkle formation. And
fantastic.
Yes, we'll talk about that in our anti-aging discussion, I'm sure. But also, we do a lot of silly things to ourselves, and we know that cigarette smoke unfortunately causes a lot of harmful free radicals in our body, and that's certainly linked to increasing our risk of cancers. And also some of the food choices that we make sometimes aren't great. So foods that turn into sugar very quickly, our high glycemic index foods, the sugar itself, a lot of our refined carbohydrates, and a lot of our deep fried foods where the oils have actually been superheated and oxidised can cause those free radicals.
Okay. Fantastic. So molecular hydrogen's something we definitely want to be taking if we're eating a lot of fast food.
Well, you certainly want to neutralise those free radicals as effectively as you can.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Elen.
Thanks, Wayne.